Welcome to the podcast of School Beyond Limitations. In this podcast, you will learn how to guide your child through their school life with the intention to help them find their unique essence that will allow your daughter, your son to live a fulfilled and meaningful life. Yeah, hi everyone. Today I'm really extremely excited because I have Liv Fester here and I will interview Liv Fester and I will ask her about her experience at School Beyond Limitations. Liv is a wonderful student. She's been part of School Beyond Limitations from the very beginning. And yeah, Liv, thank you for joining us and thank you both for being here. You're so young, Liv. I really need to say you're so young and so courageous to actually already be online. So extremely well done. Liv, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself first, maybe?
I'm Liv. I'm 12 years old, and I love to draw and make art. And yeah, I really love School Beyond Limitations.
You do love School Beyond
Yeah.
Limitations. How would you describe School Beyond Limitations? What is School Beyond Limitations?
It is like a free place where you can learn freely. You have no really chains on you. What you have to do, like no rules.
Mm-hmm. Are there no rules? What does it mean?
It's not really rules, but it's like agreements. So we don't like chain you, like you don't get changed, but we still work together, so it all works, and I really like that.
I find that interesting, Liv. You are talking about agreements. Would you like to maybe tell us a little bit more which kind of agreements and who creates those agreements and how are they put in place? Maybe you can make a few examples of the agreements that you work on in your school context.
We all the students agreed on a few agreements, and we all gave something from our mind to it, so we can all structure us and behave us as it's confident for us. So yeah.
So it helps you.
And for an example, as the agreement, one of the agreements we have is listen to each other while one is talking, and then don't listen to them and don't talk while they're talking.
So actually you are saying that one of the agreements that you set up is we listen to each other and to one another. Yeah. And does that then work? Do you have the perception that people do apply those agreements, or is it like a rule and they want, what do you think?
So I think everyone is listening to each other and we can learn from each other, and that's why, because we agreed on this agreement that we will all listen to each other at all the time.
Mm-hmm. Are there any other agreements that come to mind that you have set up at the beginning of the school year?
So also what an agreement was is aim for the best. So you always give your best and do your best whatever you can to achieve something.
Well, Liv, you are 12 years old, right? And 12 and a half by now, probably. Yeah. What does giving the best mean to you, and what do others say about that?
Giving my best is that I always try to learn as much as possible and always try to do as much as possible without exhausting myself. And giving my best is really just doing everything I can to learn.
Mm-hmm. And what do you do, Liv? Do you have the perception that you give everything that you can to learn? And what exactly are you doing in order to broaden your knowledge, in order to become more aware of what's going on around you? How would you describe that?
I would say for that is like I will okay, I will always like when I have projects, I always try to put as much as information as I have into it, so everyone can learn from it and also learn from me. It's not only like information what comes from a website. It's always information what also comes from my own statement, and that's I would say how I achieve my best, like aim for the best.
Mm-hmm. Do you only use internet to do your research, or are you also encouraged to use other resources and sources as well?
So we don't always use the internet. We can also ask people, like maybe I'm doing a project about a specific country, and I can ask people who live there about what what is the favorite food, what is your favorite food, what comes from this country, and stuff like that. And also maybe when you're going to ask someone on the street, also you can ask someone on the street, maybe he knows something about maybe bees or some specific kind of animal. Yeah, I'd say that.
Have you on which project have you been working lately? Would you like to share with the audience what one of your favorite projects was so far, and what how you approached it and what you learned from that?
So I have two favorite projects right now, and one I'm currently, actually both of them are not finished yet. One is the Norse God project for history,
Mm-hmm.
and currently working that, and I learned a lot from that, and I really like that, and searching for information and putting as much information also into the text I write. And second, I like is about phobias. I'm doing currently a project about phobias. I really like that because I feel like I have a lot of text in there and a lot of pictures also, because I feel like I really gain a lot of information for that and from that.
Mm-hmm. And what is your experience with the teacher mentors? Do they help you explore and discover and guide you through the process? How would you describe that?
So I would say the teacher mentors really helped me, like also with websites. They gave me a website where I can search for stuff, and also help me when I don't understand anything about math, maybe, or maybe I don't understand any word in English. They can explain it to me, and I think that's really helpful than just learning on my own.
Mm-hmm. And you are more people in one class. So how is it? You know, people out there may think that's strange learning online. What is your experience with learning online and being in a classroom, not in a school context, but online? How would
I
you?
actually feel better online because it's, yeah, like I feel I have much more freedom, and I'm not like, I don't have to wake up the time. Normally when I was still going to normal school, I had to always wake up at 7, but now I can choose, maybe I will also can stand up at 8, or also I can stand up earlier. And I really, I think I have more freedom with online also, because the teacher mentors are way nicer than I had experience with like teachers, with like school teachers. And also with with my classmates, I can work a lot, and I feel like they're really nice to me, and I can work with them really good.
So does that mean that you don't even have this perception that you are not in the same room, although you are in different countries and sitting in different places? Do you have the feeling that they are so close to you, although you are not in the same place?
Yeah, it feels like we're just talking, like we would sit next to each other. Although we're in this Zoom room, I still feel like we are talking a lot, and we're there for each other.
Mm-hmm. Do you also actually have an exchange with your peers in the afternoon then sometimes?
Sometimes I'm calling with one of my friends from my classmates, mostly till really in the evening, so several hours. And I really like talking with her. And yeah, I speak with different people. I also call some different ones and speak with them, talk with them for hours. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what about you know, it's 3 hours of lessons, right? From 9 to 12. Do you think that's enough? Do you really feel that you learn something there?
Yeah, of course it's enough. And these 3 hours I learned more than the mostly so many more hours in normal school. And also we have like we mostly then work in the afternoon for ourselves on our projects. After we had like the help from our teacher mentors, we can also work on our projects after school. So I feel like we can work all the time.
Mhm. So does that mean that you also have homework, or don't you call it homework? How do you,
we
how?
don't we don't really call it homework because it's like you can choose if you want to do it. Maybe you don't have time to do it one day, it's fine. And also you choose to do more than you wanted, you can do that. It's
Mhm.
really up to you.
Mhm. So you said something very interesting before. You said, if I have heard that well, that you have the perception that you learn even more than you used to learn in your former school, where you went to school for many more hours. Is that
Hmm.
is that
Yeah.
right? Mm-hmm. And so what is the reason for you, you think, that you learn more in those 3 hours?
I
And
think the learning is like more compact, like it's packed in a bigger box, like in a normal school, but packed in a really, really small compact box, and you can't really do anything with that. And now it's a huge box, and you can really learn everything from it. I really feel like I can learn a lot more from right now
Mhm.
on. Yeah.
Do you think, and how do the others see that? Do you talk about that? Do you have the this contact with your peers? Do you have the perception that they also have this sensation that they learn a lot?
Yeah, I would say they also told me multiple times that they learn a lot more here, and they can work always on the subjects they choose to
Mhm.
want to work on.
What's the most fun in your view and the most valuable thing about School Beyond Limitations, if you were to say that
Um,
and compare it to your previous experience, because this is the
I
first
yeah.
experience?
So I would say that learning is more fun. Like you can learn with through games, and you can choose what you want to do, and I think that's really variable to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Excellent. And what about, because I know, right? Well, you have multi-aged classes. You have different age groups in your class. So what would you say to people who think, how is that possible, right? How can there be a class that is mixed from, let's say, 11 years to 16? How does that work? How would you say? What would you say about
I
that?
think it works really well because the teacher mentors, they give every single one the things every single student the things they need, and I'm basically doing harder math than others in my class, and others do harder math than mine, and so you have a difference, and maybe if you have an age difference, it's fine. Maybe you can your brain is more involved, and you can learn longer and more, I mean, and I think that's really nice if you have like this age gap between some people, because you can also learn something from them, and they can also learn something from you most times.
Mm-hmm. And that's interesting. And so I'm still interested in maybe that you talk about your experience during the residential week. because this is one part. The online pillar is one part that what School Beyond Limitations is doing, but School Beyond Limitations also go and takes their students to different places in different destinations in Europe. And we've done already 3 residential weeks this year, right, Liv? But the one which we actually should have been doing now, we would be in the midst of our 4th residential week, and we couldn't do it due to the coronavirus. But tell us a little bit more about that experience. What would you tell us about this?
I would say I really like the residential because I can see everyone from my class and I can really interact with them, and I can also touch them. Like, I couldn't touch them through the computer right now, but now like when we're on the residentials for this 1 week, I can share with them so much more and also show them more stuff, and I think I really like that. I love the residentials so much. And also we have the activities we do while residentials, and I think that's really fun because we're mostly active and we can learn also so much through this one residential week.
Would you like to maybe tell about one of the residentials of the specific experiential focus we had there? Would you like to tell about that a little bit in more detail?
So I would say my favorite residential this year was the residential to Finland. And I think we learned a lot about the nature there, and also like about ice fishing we learned, and how to ski also. And we learned about the different, about the language and the different kinds of foods and stuff like that. And I think I really liked that. We had so much free wind, and it was so cold there, and I like the cold really much.
What about one of our main foci was also to not use the digital media, right, and digital devices. So how did that experience resonate with you?
I feel I had a lot of freedom, and I didn't really feel like I didn't have my phone. I felt because I always had someone to talk to, I never felt like I needed my phone. I mostly didn't even think about, oh, I have to check my phone now. Maybe someone called me and stuff like that. I didn't care.
Did it even help you to feel more relaxed about it sometimes?
Yeah,
Nice.
definitely.
Excellent. Liv, I think the last question or second last question I would like to ask you, and certainly people out there are interested in, would you be able to describe a little bit a school day in school, at School Beyond Limitations? How would you describe this school day, this 3 hours?
I would say it's like I would describe it, first I stand up early and then I go to school mostly. And in school we first do like warming up and also physical warming up, so mentally and physically. So we will do sports and training a little bit, so we warm our muscles and our brain up. And then we mostly do games or stuff like that, and so we can warm our brain up for what's coming after that. And I would say after that we mostly work in groups or individual. So when you work individual, you work on your own projects, and then the teacher mentor joins you on about 10 to 20 minutes, so you have time to talk to them, and if you need help with with stuff you can ask them. And then we mostly come back for sharing, and we will share the projects we did and presentations, and then we all talk about that, and then mostly it's over then actually. It sounds like not much, but actually you learn a lot from that.
But does the time fly by quickly, or do you have the perception it's very, very slow?
It feels like it flies by really, really quickly because I work a lot and then it's just like whoosh, bye.
Well, Liv, maybe the last thing which you may to say to people out there or students of your age or older, what would you tell them if they were to consider School Beyond Limitations? Would you invite them to come and join us, or would you say just stay where you are?
I would say they should join us because you can have a lot more better learning experience here than you would have in normal schools.
Wow. Liv, I would like to thank you for this interview. You've been fantastic. And I would also like to let people who listen to this know that Liv actually started to learn English only a little bit more than a year ago. And now you're fluent. This is amazing. Thank you, Liv, for this. And thank you for being here. At School Beyond Limitations, we support our students find their unique essence. Feel free to share the content of this podcast with other parents. We are here to show that your children can, indeed, bring their unique essence into life. So, reach out to us if you think that this is what you'd like your daughter, your son to experience, or apply through our website. Also, leave your comments, your questions, or your review about the podcast. Share it with others. And as you know, sharing is caring.